We're there. Good afternoon. We're about to start the Commission on Aging meeting for December 12th. It looks to be about 1 or 2 minutes after 2. So if we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Perfect timing. Yeah. Oh, good. How are you, Paul? Good. Okay. We've done that. There is no public to make a public comment. Let's see. The minutes of November 13th, or rather November 11th. I have a copy of those if anyone has any questions regarding that. If not, can we have a motion to accept the minutes?
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Eve. Okay. We are going through the agenda relatively quickly.
Everybody approve?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Reports. I don't have anything from Michelle Arani at this point, so we'll leave that alone. Mrs. Mack, nothing from her either. The only thing of any real import that I have, which I would like to hold off for the first selectman when she gets here, if you don't mind, just to qualify 1 or 2 points with what I was told. So, okay, I think we're due to be sworn in today again, and we're not going to have the elections of officers, as is stated in number new business. And the reason being is that I queried Cindy Katsky about if there was absentee balloting allowed, and apparently there's not, which I'm glad to. I like the fact that it's not. But you can phone call in if you make prior arrangements. Cindy would have arranged the phone number if anybody wanted to vote by calling in. So since nobody has gotten to me at this point regarding that issue, we're just going to postpone until we have a full group. Is that acceptable, Cindy?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it had to be by the end of the year.
supposed to be in December, but I think if you want to postpone it for a month, that's okay.
Yeah, we'll try that.
I think that's okay.
Well,
You don't know what the hell you were talking about.
something flew out of my mind immediately. Oh, the elections of officers. I apologize.
I
Bear with-
have a question.
Yes.
We do have a quorum. Do you think the next meeting you'll have more than this number? Because it's an if. I may not be here.
I
Somebody
know.
else. So why not have the vote today and be done with it?
Because you can't have an absentee vote.
But
We don't need it.
Well, I know what you're saying, but I guess in my feelings, I would just rather have everyone have a say. I don't know if that's
But the odds
Robert's
of us having
rules.
any more than we have right now are probably not great.
Well,
To
if
your
the,
point,
1, 2, 3, 4.
we have 6.
we have 6 people.
Could we do like a I don't want to say a
There's
quasi.
only one missing, am I right?
Yeah.
Kathleen, yeah.
Well, we're here. Why not do it and be done?
I'm pretty sure Kathleen will go along with whatever we vote.
Is that acceptable, Cindy?
Sure.
The group has spoken, so be it. Okay. I hadn't planned on doing that till one of the last items. So we'll just postpone it off. So if anybody has any comments they want to kick around or whatever, think about. What do we say? Oh, old business. Any concerns for senior citizens and whatnot? The only thing I could think of is I don't know. I was going to review some of the notes of the last month's meeting, which really weren't very exciting. But what I have, these are the minutes. We just okayed those. These are the minutes from the 21st, and I thought there might have been, I think it was about Sergeant Pies that I had spoken about mainly. I have been in contact with him. I had hoped to maybe catch him on short notice for today, but that didn't work out. But he did respond back with an email saying that after the turn of the year, we'd make kind of efforts to try and do something with some regularity. And once again, as we said, I don't know if it works out to our benefit or not that we try and feed him a topic or what, but I think might be best just to give him almost carte blanche to maybe speak of the soup du jour, whatever the hot topic is of that day or that month that he's been exposed with. That seem feasible? Or Eve?
So when is he coming?
We don't know yet.
Is this for just us or for the senior center?
Just us. He's already been, I think earlier in March of this year, he presented at the senior center for different things, such as scams and whatnot, which is some of the things we had covered on when he was here. But there's many, many more things. I would like to see him go into a lot of, traffic things.
Yeah, but I think that
I-
rather than just leaving it totally up to him, if you have any suggestions of things he should cover that he may not even have thought of, I think we should give him a few,
Oh, yeah,
come
yeah.
up with a few things and then say, add anything to that that you would like.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Well, obviously, before he comes, you could forward to me any topics that you want covered. We'll forward it to him, and this way he could either accept, reject, or if he has a specific topic he wants to address, he can get back and advise us on that issue. I guess that would be somewhat.
I have a suggestion. I think it's all well and good for him to have him come and talk to us, but I think it would be even more beneficial if it was opened up to all the seniors.
He has presented already at the senior center.
No, I know, but if it was going to be a different topic, perhaps we could be
Oh,
more
okay.
inclusive and not just the 6 or 7 of us.
So then
Mr.
we
Chairman,
have
can
a
I-
Meeting at the senior center?
Either that or putting it in a program that they advertise in the program guide.
Invite them to be part of it.
But don't.
But we could have it at the senior center as one of their programs, and we can participate with them. I think more exposure to more people would be beneficial, because what he says are very valuable things.
I don't think we would be precluding people because these are on video. Worst case, they could be replayed at the senior center should that be necessary. The only reason I'm kind of like I keep on going back to what Vicky had said a while ago, that we're not decommitting in total to the senior center, but that is no longer our primary focus. But granted, this would be for a specific issue, so that kind of negates that a bit.
But then what do we do with that information? Oh, sorry.
Wait, hold on a minute, Lynn. I'm sorry, Paul. You were-
I was just going to echo, I think, why don't we just have our meeting at the senior center? So it's a double whammy. We have our meeting, he speaks to us, but it's open to whoever's there, and it can be advertised.
Didn't we cancel 2 meetings at the senior
We
center for
did,
this year?
but if you get a date with.
Oh, yes, okay, yeah, I
We
know what you're
did,
saying, yeah.
but if you get a date that he's available, we'll just change that to the senior center. To
I-
Paul's point.
I would have no problem with that.
Yeah, so we're not doing senior center now as we speak.
Right.
But if we have him coming to make a presentation and we think it might be, as Yves says, beneficial to more people, then we'll just switch it, whatever meeting he agrees to, at the senior center.
Yeah, I think that even though the senior center is not our exclusive focus anymore, it's a good place to find seniors.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, that's valid.
I don't know if anyone else will show up, by the way, because that hasn't been our case, but at least we're leaving it open for the opportunity for people to go.
Well, in going along with that train of thought, if we do know, if we know perhaps 30 days in advance, they could put it in the senior citizen bulletin. So then it could be like an auditorium type of a thing, and with any kind of luck, we get like a decent-sized crowd there.
That would be nice.
Okay, I'm sorry, Paul, you were saying?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay, Linda?
I saying the same thing. What do we do with somebody who speaks here? What do we do with that information? I mean, just for us to have a speaker come in. Not that the information is not good, but what do we do then with it? And I understand that the center is not our major whatever, but still.
I
I
guess
think that's the other question is what do we really do?
I think in light of what you're saying, it's going to depend on a topic, and if we can get involved somehow in advocating for or helping with the topic somehow. Does that make any sense? If something's brought to light that's of real import, for some reason, maybe we could perhaps get involved and further advocate it, further qualify what the questions are, what the problems might be, or even if it's getting to the police force and having them recommend maybe some additional actions that we feel they maybe should take, perhaps. Yeah, we can get proactive in some areas. No doubt about that.
Talking to the mic, please.
I don't think we have to necessarily, like, we're an advisory group. We're not a to-do something group. So this would be kind of the same thing. If he talked about scams and letting us know about scams. So we have it at the senior center, and if anyone there wants to participate, they can participate. It's more informational for us to know what's available in the town for different topics.
Well, this is true, but I mean, just to have somebody every month coming in to speak to us, and then we do nothing with it, I mean, we could listen to speakers anywhere.
Yeah, but I don't think, we're not having speakers every month. If we
Well-
have 3 a year, that's a lot.
I know.
So again, I'd be interested to hear his perspective on certain topics, which he did the last time. Talked about scams and things that affect seniors.
Correct.
And it was targeted more to seniors, which I was glad that he did it that way.
Right.
Do the same thing. If you have it at the senior center, how would we publicize that to let seniors know that it's going to be available?
Well, there's the newsletter. Is
Okay.
that out of our purview to do something like that?
I guess that would be up to Michelle, right?
I don't know.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm Cindy Katsky, Chief Administrative Officer, and I think this is a really good conversation. And up in the First Selectman's office, we find that one of our biggest challenges, it's like an overarching challenge, is communicating with people. To how do you get information to people? And it's hard. But what you could do if you get particularly good information, you can talk with the police about how else can we get this information out. Can they go to flu clinics at the health department, or can they go to the farmers market, or can Michelle put it in the senior newsletter, which isn't just for people who go to the senior center. I think she's got a pretty big list. Can you ask the first selectman to include it in her monthly newsletter? There are things you can do with it if you find topics that or information that you think is particularly valuable.
Once we set a date, we should probably try to see if Michelle would do it far enough in advance that she could put it in a couple of newsletters in a row, more than just 1 month. You know how that works?
No, but I think one newsletter would be okay. Well, if we had the time for two, but I like the First Selectmen's newsletter idea.
I do too.
That's even expanding it more. So if we come up with a date far enough ahead, we could do it both. I think those are great ideas.
Mr. Chairman, I do think that we fall down a little bit in making our events known to and I think that there are several, but I would volunteer, since I have some experience in this area, to become the communications maven for the commission and make it a point whenever we have something coming up to make sure that it gets publicized. I would take that on if you guys are agreeable to that.
Thank you for volunteering, Paul.
And I'll talk to you, Cindy, about the various channels that are available.
I think the most difficult thing is going to be is coordinating Rob Officer Pies' schedule. I think he's I don't want to say the hard spot, but he could either maybe do the presentation, recommend somebody to us, or perhaps give us a script to follow, or just something to discuss. So there's ways of addressing that. Yeah, that's definitely a good topic. I like that.
It occurs to me, Mr. Chair, we just missed a golden opportunity with the sign up for Medicare stuff that only the period is the 7th. We might have scheduled something, an informational session about how that works and the difference between various and sundry options that people have. Again, just as a public presentation, and I'm sure We could have got speakers for that, but again, the time is now lost, but I'm just mentioning it so we'll hopefully remember it next year.
Doesn't Kathleen have some involvement in that area? She's involved in SWACA and some other various county level things. So
Well, so does Jen.
is she still involved, do we know?
It wouldn't be hard. I mean, Blue Cross and
Yeah.
they'll be happy to send out spokesmen, and you know they'll be trying to sell you something, but they will also go through the process, which I think it's fairly opaque to lots of people.
Paul, are those efforts included in your volunteer effort?
Yeah, when
from
the time
prior?
when it's appropriate.
Okay, good, thank you.
But in terms of scheduling speakers and planning ahead, this will be sometime in the fall. But
Yeah, I guess we need it, well, 30s. See, we work on like a 30-day schedule for our group. Most people like that, they're either kind of available tomorrow or 3-6 months out. And that's the hard spot. But it's doable, and it's worth pursuing, so that's good. We have a, all right, so can anybody kind of, like, I guess, summarize or capsulize the efforts that we want to do with that? So, Paul, maybe since you're,
yeah, we have the police officer.
yes,
We certainly have the Medicare sign up for the fall.
but that's
I was
that's
thinking
passed.
if there's a physician or a practice in town that does geriatric medicine and talks about preventive care and avoiding
Interesting.
hospitalization.
Found us on the web.
No, thanks. Those are three that come to the mind. If anybody else has ideas, I'd be certainly willing to try to arrange something.
All right, so the way, I got a couple of scribbles here. So the biggest thing is how are we going to get information to the people? I guess the first note I took was discuss with the police and see what they can possibly do as far as helping us and putting together programs that they get information of. Because I think Officer Pies goes to a lot of ongoing educations relative to this. So maybe he could put us in some contact with some of those groups or something to that effect. I don't know. I could pursue that with him, or anyone. By the way, feel free to forward to him any information or requests that are reasonable. I mean, don't. Well, I don't know. No, maybe we should kind of keep it central. All right, we don't want to burden him with too many little things.
If they have any particular things, they should send it to you, since you're in contact with
Right,
the
okay.
officer, and then you could funnel it as one person to him.
Okay, and then there was the first selectman newsletter, which is an interesting thought. But I don't know why I never thought of that before. For any valuable information affecting all, to publicize the events. We said the senior center newsletter is the kind of the obvious one. Do we have any newspaper contacts? Do we have any friendly newspaper contacts, Cindy?
Most newspapers have community calendars or something. I can certainly make that part of the communications portfolio, is to reach out to the newspapers.
That's a good idea. We had a reporter who was working in Trumbull, and she has been reassigned to a different community, and we're kind of in between right now, so I don't have a specific contact.
Was
But-
that Shania?
Shanice.
Shanice?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. She's no longer with us.
At the senior golf group that does our contact for things, so I don't know if you want me to get the name of who he talks to and then give it to Paul?
Sure.
Good idea.
Okay.
Good. Thank you for that. Well, I was always going to ask, would he be available just to come in and explain how to do things? No. No, we'll funnel that through you. That'll be the easiest, I think. Less demanding on anybody. And then the geriatric medicine talk. Geriatric medicine, someone had spoken about. Some a practitioner in town that deals with geriatric issues primarily.
My new doctor does.
Pardon?
My new doctor specializes in that, but I don't meet with him for the first time until February, so
Ask him a lot of questions.
I wouldn't mind asking him.
But that's a thought. If anybody's involved with any of those things,
I think that would be a great idea.
yeah, I like that. I don't know who said that, but thank you, whoever did.
What about newly retired? Newly retired, having a financial person come in and how to set up for retire. I mean, a lot of people have these people in place already. But for newer retired, maybe get in a little bit younger senior.
Well, the library does a lot of that on their own. And as a matter of fact, I've often thought that the library and the senior center were kind of duplicating the same efforts. But the library has more of a broad appeal to the younger people, like you're referring to, as opposed to strictly the senior set
Do they
at the
get
senior center.
Do they get a good turnout?
I don't really know, but they have many programs at the library. And even, I think there's, weren't there some courses during the summertime at the evening school at the high school they had, where you could pay like $25 for a 3-night session with advisors, and as part of the thing, when you sit through 1 or 2 nights of their class, they would provide you with like a 15-minute, half-hour consultation gratis. So there are things that are out there. Maybe we can make people aware of these things.
Or
along with
maybe
having-
just to inform newly retired of different activities available in town, different services.
That might come to play in what Paul might be getting. I'm sorry, Paul. Mark might be getting involved. I'm sorry about that. With the those potential little news flyers that we had.
Yeah.
Those. So there'll be some. Paul, Mark. Would you repeat that again?
I haven't pursued that recently because I was so busy getting involved with the senior center. So now that that's off
Yeah.
for a while, I'd like to make a couple. I'd like to make a couple when we get to it later on. Comments about reactions I've had about the loss of the senior center. And it was eye-opening.
Okay, good. That might be interesting.
Just in terms of topics, Mr. Chairman, something about basic social media and email for seniors. And our purview is anybody over 55, right?
55, actually.
So that preparing for retirement, there's a lot of people in that 55 to 65 age group that we could, they're still thinking it's 1,000 years away, and we know it's about an hour and a half.
I had a question about social media. I'm just trying to think what, I lost a thought. But it was regarding what you had just said, Paul, about social media and other avenues of getting to people with either information or requests for information. Rats. Hate when that happens. Okay. Well, look, I guess that would be under old business for the concerns. We've kind of addressed that a bit. Update on presentations, we touched on that also.
Should I talk about what I?
Yes. Yeah, we're finished with old business then.
This is
So, Mark, new business.
since the vote didn't go our way, I have a lot of friends that know that I was very involved in what was going on, have come back to me with friends of theirs, have said things to me that I find it hard to believe, but maybe we didn't get our message out well enough, both the first selectman and ourselves, in terms of people not realizing, other than the ones that come to the meeting, which is a small portion, of how much it was going to cost, what the $27 million. I've had probably half a dozen people come up, oh yeah, it was $27 million, but that could become $35 million, or that could become $40 million, not realizing that 27 was the ceiling and that it conceivably and probably would be less. I don't think we got that message across to enough people going into it. And I don't think enough people realized really what was going into. A lot of people didn't realize that we already have a senior center, community center. So they thought that was a new thing. And that was going to have kids playing basketball at 1 o'clock in the morning. So whatever we do going forward, I think maybe we have to work a little harder in getting that information out to the general public, not just to the people that show up at this meeting. Because those people know, both pro and con. It's the other people that are not out there that didn't know. I was just amazed at how many people thought 27 million could be $40 million as easily as it is 27. And that's why they voted against it.
I take your point, Mark, and I think as someone who was involved in my other life in the campaign, we got caught a little flat-footed with the tax thing. somehow the word got out there that the 27 million would come out of your individual pocket. Anyway, so I think that these are things that bear repeating and recognizing if and when there is a second bite of the apple, if there is any chance to have a second vote on this issue. I think that those are things we will have to do some lessons learned from the previous effort. Again, speaking as a person who was involved in the campaign and not as a member of the commission. However, as a member of the commission, and this is a parliamentary query, would it be proper for this commission to vote to recommend to the town council that they consider a second referendum on the senior center? Would that be proper, and also would it be timely? I don't want to get too far ahead of things, and so I will be guided by not only yours, but also Cindy representing the first selectman, if she has some thoughts on that matter.
I think, Cindy, I think you're going to be the prime source for that. I think it sounds like a great idea, though, just as a recommendation, since we're concerned for seniors and their future. Seems plausible.
So, our charter contains the required referendum language in the case of bonding for projects exceeding $15 million adjusted for inflation.
This is before that, right?
And it does state any bonded debt proposed that is not approved by referendum cannot be brought up again for referendum until the later of the next municipal election or 1 year. And in this case, it's the next municipal election, which is in 2 years. That's the later.
You
Did you say 1 year?
The later of the two. The later of the two.
You can't do anything but.
So you can't really ask them to send the same question to the voters now. But some decisions need to be made as to the direction that we'll go in, because we don't, we still need a better senior center than the one we have. So decisions will have to be made as to how to proceed, because we can't just go back with the same thing.
You can't go back.
This tells us that we can't just say, well, let's vote, let's have the town council vote to put another referendum on the ballot and have an election on the same thing. It can't be the same thing.
Mr. Chairman, Cindy, if it were significantly different, and I realize significantly different is a subjective criterion, it could go back sooner than that, if you could make the case that it's significantly different.
I would think so, but I can't tell you definitively. That's really a legal question, I think. And
How about if we called it a community center instead of a senior center?
I don't think that's a significant difference, but
So who would you talk to, the town lawyer?
well, they would definitely have to opine as to, or even the bond counsel who handles legally our bond offerings. We would definitely have to get input from them as to what would need to change if we were to pursue that. But I don't know.
So you're telling me if that school addition or renovation had failed, they would have to wait for 2 years to even vote on it again?
Well, they could have come back with a different plan, a different location, a different size, a different something. I don't know. What I'm trying to tell you is I really don't know how different it would have to be. That's really not something I'm equipped to tell you. That's a legal question for the town attorneys or our bond attorney.
Cindy, is it fair to say you're looking at what options may be out there?
Well, I think it's fair to say that yes, options are being looked at. Because, as I said, there still is the recognition that we need a better senior center than what we have. The one that we have really has so many problems. And just because the referendum failed doesn't mean that, okay, well, we're done. So that's not the case.
What would be a determining factor to say it is definitely needed, we need a new senior center? You know, case in point was that the heating system went out for a short while. Who's to say it's not going to happen again with its age? Who's to say that the roof isn't going to incur some leaks or, God forbid, have a little failure of it somewhere? I know there was some woodwork that was replaced around the lower entry short while ago because of rotted wood and various things. I mean, who's to say at what point do we have to replace that building? Do we have to wait to renovate it at God knows what cost, and then for who knows what time frame? I mean, eventually we're going to have to build a senior center. What would spur that on? That's a legitimate concern. Is it safety? Is it OSHA? Is it, I don't know. Is it building? Is it, people worried about cost?
Yeah, I don't know the answer, Ron. I don't know.
That could be a slippery slope too. That's a hard spot. I mean, what happens, for the sake of argument, the center gets closed down for whatever reason. I mean, what do we do? Do we do anything? Do we have any alternative plan? Is there a plan B where it might be housed or
Well,
helped?
it's being worked on.
Well, I know things
so-
are in motion,
Yeah.
but it's just that it's such a long, drawn out, slow, laborious, painful, unknowing process.
But
I
at
mean,
the
it's
same
a-
time, we didn't want to make any knee-jerk reactions, and I think I mentioned last month too that First Selectman Tesoro is very methodical and thoughtful and deliberate, and that's just who she is. So it's maybe not happening as quickly as you would all like it to, but
I want to apologize for putting you on the spot for lots of these
That's
things.
okay.
I mean, we do appreciate it, but you're the only real contact we have.
I know.
I mean, we can't
I
bother
know.
Vicky constantly for things. I mean, as gracious as she has been in the past, it's just not fair for what's going on in the town. I mean, we are just a small portion of it. Even our $30 million expenditure, whatever it is a small portion of the grand scheme. And I'm sure there's bigger things in play, like what's happening with the new healthcare, the old healthcare up by the Home Depot. It was originally supposed to be converted to something like a staged old senior living facility.
Yeah, Rena Bacalar could probably give us more information on that.
Well, that's true.
I
Shouldn't be
don't
asking.
I don't really know that off the top of my head.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I think it is wise to let the dust settle for a little
Well-
while. 2 years, I would hope that we could get something done before 2 years. But I think it's up to the First Selectman's office and the town council to look at what would be required to advance the schedule and then to look at it if that's feasible. If there is a plan out there that could meet the requirements to advance the schedule, be it earlier than 2 years. But I think it will be wise, just because it is so soon afterwards, and also it's a brand-new government, and they need time to look at the options. So as much as I too am impatient for this, because we're not getting any younger,
2 years, half of us aren't going to be here.
Really a minimum of 4 years before you have
that's right.
Well, to be built. I'd like to get to the point where we're starting building it. I would like to. I'll wait a quarter to 6 months at the worst case before jumping. I don't know what to do, but we will find out what to do within the first 4 months.
She's
Well, is it
going to
fair to
come in
say
and
that-
swear a couple of you in for another term. Yeah.
Is it fair to say that the sense of the committee is that we will be willing to do whatever we can do and encourage others in the government to look earnestly at advancing the schedule within the limits of the town charter?
I wish we were your only priority, and then it wouldn't be a problem. But there's so many other things that I guess pull you in so many different ways. And
It is a very high priority, though.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Only because of the condition of the existing building. But what does it take to spur things on quicker?
Ron, I think they're going as quickly as they can at this point.
Probably not, I'm asking not a fair question, but. 'Cause
It's, it's okay to be impatient. It just means that you really care.
I'm afraid to say at my age and some others, I hope we are here to see this thing through to fruition.
Will not be in our lifetime.
We have to be optimistic, Eve.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I certainly hope it will be.
58 years, and I've been wanting a senior center. 58. Microphone. And it hasn't happened.
Mike.
So we'll see.
What do you-
I don't want you to be too discouraged, Ron.
No, not discouraged, just,
Turn this up.
you got it.
What I see in the town of Trumbull are families that will do anything for the education of their children. You know, if school needs renovation, no problem getting money. If a high school needs renovation, there is no problem getting money. If seniors want a center, and we're the only ones in this whole area that do not have a senior center. Easton does, Stratford does, Monroe does, Bridgeport does, Fairfield does. Not Trumbull. The problem is, as I see it, and I've lived here for 58 years, is that the people will vote for their schooling, for the education of their children, as soon as those children are finished with the schooling in Trumbull, the parents will move on. So they are never here for the continuation of planning for a senior center. And that's been one of the problems over the course of many years. They don't stay here, they move. So the education for their children is top notch. But for anyone else who stays here, it is not. And I don't know how to turn that around.
Well, I think maybe Mark's comments were correct in that it's, as I said, communication, right, is such an obstacle. But getting accurate information out to the voters was difficult. And another issue, I think, is that with school construction, assuming we follow the rules set by the state, which we do, we automatically get reimbursed for part of the cost of school construction projects. And in the case of Hillcrest, we got an enhanced, a larger share than we normally would have done due to special legislation that we obtained. So the voters knew that we would be receiving a 44% reimbursement rate, and I think that may have factored into their decision. But just because of the nature of it, with non-school construction projects, you don't know what grants you'll be able to get from the state or even the federal government. You can't apply for them ahead of time. You can't know which grants you might get, how much you might get. So it could be that we could get reimbursed for a portion of the construction costs, but we just don't know going in. So it's kind of apples and oranges. It's easier to vote when you know you're getting X number of dollars reimbursement, and in here it was kind of unknowable.
Are you saying then that we had an idea of what was expected against the Hillcrest costs initially?
Yes.
So we knew it was approximately 40%.
44.
So what we're saying is then that they were acceptable to an $80 million number, known up front, known before the referendum, I guess already set for a positive vote, and yet we balked at $27 million, which is almost 3-to-1 difference.
Again, maybe people, as Mark mentioned, maybe people were not clear that the 27 million was a ceiling.
Well, how'd they get the ceiling on Hillcrest, the 80 million?
I don't know.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but it's like, you know.
I don't know. It's complicated. Everything is
58 more years, Eve? 58 more years, you think? 58 more years before we get something started?
And some of us stay after our kids are done with school.
Not many.
Some do.
I came in with no children.
Yeah.
Not many. There's a lot that just leave.
Well, part of it because they go to an area with lower taxes. They'll pay the taxes because the kids are in school and it's important, and they appreciate your retail value of your home by having good schools. Once the kids are out of school, they go, I'll go live in Shelton. The tax rate is half of what it is in Trumbull.
I almost want to ask a stupid question. I'm going to ask it. How could people be so ill-informed about such an important thing that they're always so concerned with, money being the greatest issue?
Well, that's our job.
I think people are very busy, and
Everybody's busy.
I think everyone's busy. They live in their bubble, and they just getting through the day and getting their kids, assuming they have kids, getting all their kids to their activities and handling everything is it's a lot for people, and
It is.
This is a great
they
pizza.
they just don't pay as close attention, I think.
I think this is a great pizza and beer conversation.
Yes, I agree.
Because, I mean, there's really no real simple answer.
Right.
A lot of the questions don't seem very pointed or directed at what the issue is. Everything skirts around it so much, but there's so many things that kind of come into focus when you get right down to it, and it's ill information, which is a point that somebody said before, is communication is difficult. I think you might have said that.
Ron, we need to vote because 2 members are leaving, so we need to vote on the office.
The hell with them. What are they? I'm sorry. Okay, Cindy, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we have some members who have to make an early exit.
Yes.
So
Okay.
if we can, we'd like to get on with the voting for the,
Please do.
can we vote prior to being sworn? Yes, we can.
Yes.
Just stay there so we can harass you a
Yes.
little more afterwards.
Yes, don't turn your mic off yet. Okay. We're not going to, this topic isn't dropped. This is just suspended temporarily. We're probably going to continue after you're gone, but we'll be thinking of you. If we can then, I'm not quite sure how to go about this, but we don't have a secretary, so to speak, for the commission. Do most commissions have a secretary?
No.
Not to be a recording secretary, but, well, no. Barbara serves as our secretary.
Why would I have anyone else?
Well,
You can have a secretary if you like.
I just want to pull the
It
group
might
in.
be. Do you have a vice chair?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's a good idea to have a vice chair in case the chair can't attend. If you want to have a secretary who will receive communications, I don't think it's something that happens a lot.
I'm going to ask the group.
I move that we don't need a secretary.
I second it.
Well, to whoever would have been the secretary, I'm sorry you didn't get the job.
Fine. Who did you want? Me?
It didn't matter because
Okay.
Just,
well-
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
on the secretary, since I've volunteered to be the communications maven, the secretary seems to fit in with that. I'd be perfectly happy to volunteer to be the secretary. I know.
Does anyone have an issue with Paul stepping up to being secretary?
So should we formally?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yes.
So we will now open the position for secretary with an unnamed persons who will vie for that office. Potentially. Take back our motion.
I take back my motion.
Do we have a second on that?
I second it.
All in favor? Okay. One more time. We will then start, we will open the nominations then for the newly created position of secretary. So do we have any nominations from the floor for a secretary?
Microphone.
I nominate Paul for secretary.
I second it.
That was quick. Is there anyone else who would care to vie for that position? No. Okay. All those, can we have a motion then to accept Paul as our newly formed secretary position?
You need to vote.
You need to vote.
There is a motion. You need to vote.
We have to
Okay.
vote.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Paul, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the
Try
club.
not to let it go to my head.
Okay. Do your best.
Okay, the second position available or up for opening or voting will be the position of vice chair, which Mark Ryan has been in for the past couple of years. Does anyone have any comments or recommendations other than Mark at this point? Bless you, my son. May I have a nomination then to continue Mark
Nominate Mark for vice chair.
as vice chair? Do we have a second? Can we vote on this?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Congratulations, Mark. Once again. I don't know how to go about this from an unegotistical standpoint, but we'll now open the voting for the chair of the commission. Does anyone have any interest in applying for the position? Is that we supposed to ask first?
Sure, if anyone's interested in taking over as chair.
Okay, is that your hand up kind of?
No, no, no.
that too?
Tapping myself in the head.
So I nominate you, Ron, for chair.
We have a nomination on the floor.
Second.
Is there any other
I second.
different nominations? So we have a motion. Do we take a vote for this?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And thank everyone who has volunteered to stay on.
Yes.
And thank you, members, for putting up with it. Do we have any status on availability of Vicky?
I think just after the meeting, she can swear you in.
Okay.
There's you and,
Me.
Mark?
yes,
Oh, so if it's just us two, it's not a problem then?
correct,
Oh, okay, okay.
correct.
Cindy, was I only a 1 year? Was I filling out somebody's term?
You were probably continuing someone's term. I think
Oh, really?
today I had for Ron and Mark and Kathleen, who's not here. So I think
been
the
here the last
others
couple
are
months.
the alternate year.
She hasn't made the last couple of months. She's okay.
Are we, and we are still looking for an eighth member at this point, correct?
Yes, it's in the works.
Okay, that's positive to hear. Okay, good, thank you. I know two of us people wanted to leave relatively soon, so if there's no thing of any further import, I will be staying by. I assume Mark will, to be sworn in, and if anybody else wants to stay around and just have an
But
informal.
you can adjourn the meeting and then come on upstairs.
Okay, however.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion
I
to
see.
Make
adjourn.
a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I think it was seconded before you got your motion out. Okay, do we all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Yeah, we'll do that. No problem.
All set.
Thank you. Everyone have a